Hi everyone, welcome back to Budget with V. Today I'm going to be doing my January wrap up for my budget. I can't believe it's already the end of January. If you're new here, my name is V. I'm a 26-year-old Australian who makes budgeting videos, cash stuffing, that sort of thing. So if you're interested, please consider subscribing. I will be announcing my 100 subscriber giveaway next video, which should be posted Thursday or Friday this week, when I do my next sort of cash stuffing because I get paid this week. But for today, I just wanted to sort of wrap up January so we can start fresh for February. So let's get straight into it. First, we'll do a little bit of an overview. Just move that stuff. A bit of an overview of my spending for the last week. So we didn't always stick to budget, but that's okay. So you might have remembered from my last video, but I do weekly sinking funds unbudgeted and then our own spending. I think from now on, I'm actually going to put our spending into weekly. So, and just have these three categories. So I'll start that from next month, but let's just go straight into it. So on Wednesday, the 25th, we spent $21 on groceries, which was a weekly expense. Oh, it looks like we also might have done some entertainment / food out. That was definitely an unbudgeted spend. That was on the Tuesday. All right, then Thursday, we went to the grocery store again. You'll see there's a trend. We do go to the grocery store probably a little bit much, but I think that might be due to my budget being a little bit too low for it. So we kept running out of things, especially like dog food or like dinners towards the end before we got paid again. But Thursday, the budget reset, so we spent another $132.95 on groceries out of our weekly. So I'm going to up my budget from $150 a week to $175 a week, which you'll see in my next cash stuffing. And then we had a little bit of a day out, Josh and I, my husband, and I spent some of my spending money just on a nail polish, a drink, and I think we spent some food out. So that all came from, that was meant to be my spending, but I'll just keep on the new trend of putting that under weekly because it was budgeted for. Food out again for $16.40 on Friday. Trying to remember what that was. Is that bad? Yes, it is bad. But I'm just going to put it as food out as unbudgeted since I can't even remember. Dog grooming. So that has gone up in price since we were budgeting for it. So it's gone from $150 for two of them to $176. So we did actually have enough in the sinking fund for that. So that was okay. So that came out of the sinking fund for dogs. And then we paid $9.35 for some parking. Oh, that's right. Josh went out that night, I think. That's what that was for. And I think that was unbudgeted because I didn't put enough into petrol. On the Saturday, we went and spent $75.90 on garden stuff. So what actually happened was Josh didn't use his money for his tutor this week, so he used that instead on the garden. So that was $60 of it, and then the $15.90 of it was unbudgeted, but I've sorted that out through money or somewhere else. So I'll put it as unbudgeted, but it's all sorted now. Petrol, we had to fill up again for petrol because we did a little bit more traveling than expected. So again, I under budgeted for petrol this week. So that's something we'll need to take into account going forward, especially with the rising costs of everything. dentist. So Josh went to the dentist and it's spent $1,375. And that was from a sinking fund. There was, I think, 1,000 in the sinking fund, but then it gets, I guess that's we used our buffer to pay for the rest of it until we get paid on Thursday, which will replenish more than enough to cover all of that dentist. So I'm going to say sinking funds for now. Health insurance came out, well, it should come out today. That's sinking fund. And then we went to the supermarket yesterday for $16.91 and today for $81.27. Now that was because we've completely run out of everything to make food and we've been eating a lot more at home, which has been really good. But it does mean that the costs of things have, at the grocery store, we do need to spend a bit more. And I've been going to Aldi a lot more, and Woolworths we went today and I hadn't been for a while for like a bit bigger shop, and oh my god, the costs are so high. They're so high. We got only a couple bags full for $81, whereas I get the whole Aldi shop for the whole week. I guess it doesn't cover quite a week, for like $100. So definitely worth going to Aldi. Now these I'm going to say is unbudgeted, as in we spent over the allocated amount. But hopefully we can stick to the new amount, and that's sort of been absorbed by some other things too. I've moved some things around. So that is this month. All right, so we'll straight go back into the budget. So this was the January budget. So I wrote this up sort of towards the beginning of the month with our income as well as some of the expenses that I foresaw. I didn't foresee all of the expenses. I think I missed a few out, which I'm going to put onto the other page. So what we'll first do is I might zoom you in. That's better. So I estimated our income to be $6,675. Our income was actually $9,503.32. What I'll do is I'll do $9,503.32. Oh, $9,503.32 minus 6,675. So that's a difference up of $2,828.32. That's up. So I'm not going to do that for each category just because I'd be here forever. I might do that off camera to show you though. So basically I'm going to go through all of the expenses I do have listed here, and then I'll go through the ones that I didn't list. So mortgage, I estimated $2,220. It was actually $2,222, so $2 more. Spotify, it hasn't come out yet for this month, but we did set aside $12 for that, so that's all good. Foreigns, we actually spent $184.38, so slightly misjudged that. Internet was $59. Car insurance, so we put aside $62.50 out of this pay, and I'm going to write in here in pencil. This month we did pay this outright, and that was $708.52. So I'm going to put just anything that did get deducted out of the sinking fund. So some of these are smaller amounts, like $62.50 for car insurance. It's actually an annual expense, and then I've paid the annual fee this month, and then this will continue to build up again until next January in 2024 when I have to pay it outright again. What I might do next time when I do this is separate out sort of the monthly expenses versus the sinking funds, just to make it a little bit easier and clearer. But that's just a learning for myself in terms of how to do these videos and this budget. That's what we're here for, right? So for the home and contents insurance, we set aside $75. Groceries though, we did go over and we spent $946.32. Petrol and parking, we paid $325.31. Memberships, now we did start some new sports memberships or renew sports memberships that I forgot about. So the total for this month was $150.68, but that won't be as high as this all the time. It was just sort of a one-off. Health insurance. That was 100 and is that right? Hang on. It was 66 plus 69. Oh yeah, 135 for that. Haircuts, we paid $65. Miscellaneous was $50. Utilities and bills. How much did we pay for that? So we paid $614.43. So for example, with this one, we did contribute $400 this fortnight. Oh, maybe I should actually do that. I'm sorry. This is like, I'm not very prepared, am I? Let me just find my wallet out. So this one, oh, let me try that again. So for utilities this month, we put aside $40. Okay, for this month, we put aside the $400, but we actually ended up paying $614.43 from the sinking fund total. So that was all covered by this and the sinking fund money. So I hope that makes sense. Water. Connection, $71. Dogs, we spent $418.05. This is because one of my dogs had to go to the vet unexpectedly. So that was the rest of the money basically. That's there. Rates, we set aside $189. Gifts, $8. Health, so this is not health insurance, but just health stuff. We spent $225.77, so about right. Car insurance, we set aside $52.67 for car service. Spending, we spent $600. Christmas/Easter, we set aside $10. Home maintenance, we spent $145.88. The dentist, we set aside $950, but we spent $1,671 this month from this plus sinking funds. Emergency fund, we were able to put away an extra $50, so that was $100. Didn't put anything other than my cash stuffings that you've seen, which comes out of the spending money, but nothing into the account in savings. Payback to account, so we didn't, because we were expecting one more payment to come through of income of about $300, we were going to put the 100 or about 200 of that into paying back the account. But at the moment we actually didn't put anything, and we spent an additional $100 out of that. So basically we went backwards a little bit in owing ourselves. I hope that makes sense. Eating out, we stuck to that budget of $265 on my salary packaging card, but then we spent an additional $95. So total we spent $360 for the month. Okay, so the two additional ones I didn't think about at the beginning of the month was the tax. So for tax, we set aside $555. And for birthday, so this was for Josh's birthday total, we spent $455. So let me just quickly add this up and I'll be right back. The total of the actual amount spent is $9,729.32. And then if I minus $9,503.32, that means we spent $226 from sinking funds. So our income really was, we used the entirety of everything we got paid this month, plus $226 out of our sinking funds to cover all of these things. Hey everyone, I don't know if you'll be able to actually tell, but this part is being filmed on a different day just because I did go through I'll show you my budget for January in my last try at the video, but I wasn't very happy with it just in terms of how I presented the information. So I wanted to do something a little bit different. So what I've done is I've got an overview for the month, which I'll show you. So this is the January overview. So over here, I've got the start of the month and the end. So I'll just quickly take you through it. So at the start of the month, we had $515 sitting ready for the mortgage payment. At the end of the month, this month, we have $0 left. So that's just sort of a fortnightly amount that we keep putting into the mortgage, and then it comes out. So it's just continually building up and then going out straight away. Utilities and other bills had $70, and then we had spent all of that by the end of the month. Spotify at the start had $0. Now we have $12 sitting there ready for the next payment. Internet had $0, and by the end of the month we also had $0, so that's come in and out. The phones started at $0, ended with $0, same thing with that. Water connection fees, so we had $394.50 at the beginning of the month, and by the end we had $172. The reason for that is that we had to pay that this month. So that's another 3 months of the water connection paid for. So that was great. House insurance. So we started with $21 and now we have $96. Rates, we started with $770 and now have $889 in the sinking fund. Gifts, started with 0, ended with 0. Dog fund, so we had started with 85 and now we have 370. So at the moment we're saving for an upcoming vet bill. Health, started with 0, ended with 0. So that was money that came in and then we spent it. So we still have 0 at the end. The dentist, so we started the month with 210 in that fund. And by the end of the month, we had negative $421. So we overspent by $421, more than we'd already put in for. But this month, we actually paid $1,650 towards the dentist. So we actually put another $1,000 towards the dentist this month. Car service. Started with $250, now have $795. Car insurance, this also came out this month. So we started with $710. We paid that this month and now we have $63.50 for next year's car insurance. Red Joe's built up from $112 to $164. Hair has built up from $2.50 to $65. And tax, the amount that we're putting towards tax has gone from $3,012 to $3,567. Tutors, we still have 0. Now, this is the payback to the account. So at the beginning of the month, we had to pay back $3,500 back to the account. By the end of the month, we still have $3,607 to pay back. So we actually added to that a little bit, but that's because of how many expenses we had this month. So I'm not too upset about that. But overall, at the beginning of the month, we had $2,652 and ended with $2,165.50. But if we take into account that $515 of that was just for the mortgage that was going to have to be spent anyway, that's, let me work that out. So 2652 minus 515. 2,137, so which is less than we had in the account. So really we built up an extra $28. But overall, not too bad, since we didn't have to touch our emergency fund to pay for any of those really big expenses like the dentist, the car insurance that came out, and that big water bill, which was like $500 of a bill / connection fee. So really, I'm really happy with that. But just a short check-in video. I just wanted to show you this. But in my next video, I am going to be cash stuffing my next wage and I'll be announcing the 100 subscriber giveaway. So stay tuned. But if you enjoyed this video and you're interested in seeing any more, please consider subscribing below. Okay, see you next time.